Ramblers, you know, want to make night 2 here a much more competitive one. And it will be Cole Schobel who gave them a spark off the bench from the midpoint of that second set on the other night. He gets the start at setter, but just like 2 nights ago, Spiros Hakas able to get the festivities started with the kill. So the first point is on the board, and the Hawaiian Financial FCU starting lineups scroll at the bottom of your screen. Same first rotation for the Rainbow Warriors. Meanwhile, we mentioned the change on the side of the Ramblers with Cole Schobel at setter. And he goes to the middle. Jimmy Meinhardt's touch shot is dug up by Eleu Choi. Guilherme Voss also dug up. So the Ramblers the other way. Parker Van Buren lights that one aflame. He had 9 kills, hit under 100 the other night with 4 digs and 5 blocks. But a 6'9" redshirt junior who head coach John Hawk says is just an absolute beast on the opposite side, although he put that one down from the outside spot.
I think Van Buren didn't have the night we'd expect on the first night. I think we're going to see a lot more action from him tonight, and the Ramblers are going to need him.
This guy had a night. Daniel Fabakovic, just a true freshman. Now, also hit under 100, but he had 8 kills, and there were stretches in that match where it looked like he was a force that was difficult to stop.
He really was, and I think Fabakovic kind of had what a lot of the Ramblers had on night 1, which it was a little bit nerves. Again, simplified stand Sheriff Center. Hard arena to play in, but again, they came out a little bit more comfortable tonight.
Well, Spiros Hakas, 2 swings, 2 kills. I mean, what can you say about this guy, the 6'4" senior from Neo Smyrna, Greece? 16 kills the other night, hit 281, and when Hawaii needed points and sticky rotations, as usual, he was the guy.
Like, Spiros Hakas is a special kind of player, and what I love about him is that he's not flashy. He doesn't do anything out of the ordinary. He just plays very good and smart volleyball. Very athletic, although he sometimes doesn't look like the most athletic guy out there, but he does take care of what he needs to take care of.
Fabakovic with the touchdown there, his second kill. As you take a look at John Hawks, the 2023 MIVA Coach of the Year, the first Loyola coach to win that honor in his first season. As Alaka Itad caught the sweet spot right there. And we're tied again here early in set number 1. Alaka Itad, it was good to see him, and this opportunity to emerge now as the starter, the main guy here at the start of the season at the opposite position. Had 7 kills, hit 130, 8 digs, so flashing some defense out there. We saw a couple of diving saves. He was sprawling with that 6'9" frame.
He really is, and that's the exciting thing about volleyball nowadays. Back when I was playing, these 6'9" guys, maybe not the most offensive, but if you look at the average height on the court right now, probably close to 6'7", and we had 45 digs across the board last night. It was super exciting volleyball, because you don't get that too much from men's.
Well, on cue, you had G. Voss with the save, and Hawaii transitions to Kurt Neusterer for the put down. So you got all kinds of big men laying out here on the Terraflex.
What an incredible move by Guilherme, and again, we're just seeing a lot more scrappy defense from both sides. One-hand sprawls, doing an incredible job, whatever they can, just to get the ball up.
Well, it's early, but no hitting errors for either side. Hawaii starting off hitting 571. Loyola Chicago 429 on its side. And an ace by Guilherme Voss. Hawaii had 6 of those a couple of nights ago. And as you take a look at Charlie Wade, in his 15th season, the win the other night was number 270 on his ledger. And he's got this program rolling. 4 straight appearances in the national championship game.
He really has, and it's been super exciting to be a part of, but also see the continuation of this Hawaii team grow. And I think they've really built a culture, and Charlie Wade's done an incredible job with this team of building a culture that's going to stick. It was a long time coming, but it has obviously worked.
Parker Van Buren going long on that swing. So 4 straight points here for Hawaii. 6 serving 3. Set goes middle, and that one, a nice little wrist away by Dean Meyer. Nicodemus Meyer, 6'10" junior from Franklin, Wisconsin, at 6 kills. Hit 545 the other night. And you see him giving a little bit of a smooch there to the dome of his setter, Cole Schobel. I mean, talk about a gesture of a thank you. That's a lot of gratitude right there.
Men's volleyball, you know, there's always going to be that different chemistry that you'll see in other sports.
Alaka Itad with the roll shot. Little ad-lib there, and Tread Rosenthal, who was off the playing surface, was able to still put it up there for Todd to at least do something with it, and he gets the put down. 7-4 here early. So here is Todd, the 6'9" senior from Kailua out of Punahou. Outside set, Pavkovic is blocked back. Loyola still with it. They go back row, and a nice looking hammer by Jake Reed, who gets the start tonight. Came off the bench the other night, but another one of these Southern California guys, 6'4" freshman from Newport Beach, and he showed some stuff on Wednesday.
He really did, and what I liked about Jake Reed, slightly undersized as an outside, standing at 6'4", and again, young freshman, but what he did an incredible job of is find the block last night. He got a lot of kills tooling the block instead of just finding the court.
How are you going to stop that? Spiros Hakas launching off of the trampoline. And it is 8-5, and he is in his bag here to start this match.
It's just exciting to see Hawaii really establish the BIC and be one of the most efficient and effective BIC teams in the country. It's something that they've worked on in the gym a lot, and it's just exciting to see it in action.
Oh, the pass tight to the net. We had a joust up there, and Hawaii wins it. Kurt Neusterer was standing tall, and he gives a little flex for his mates in the middle of the floor.
Kurt always playing with some swag and just a lot of confidence. It's exciting to see him get this starting position. Very hard worker. And again, he was one of those recruits that was super last minute. Charlie was walking across one of the lake courts at the AAU National Tournament, and he saw Kurt get up and block the ball and was like, who's that guy?
Well, they called that one in, just tagging that far sideline. Jake Reed with another kill. Yeah, Charlie Wade, he's known in terms of his recruiting to not leave any stone unturned. And you're right, even at the last moment, getting a guy like Neusterer, who now is one of his starting middle blockers. That's just how it works sometimes as Meyer goes out on the serve. Service error is an issue for Loyola a couple of nights ago. They had 14 of them.
They did, and again, you're always looking for that 1-to-1 ratio. One service ace for one error. 14-4, that's just a little bit too many. You're already giving an entire half set away. It's really hard to come back from that.
Neusterer gets the serve in. Pass was tight to the net, and a net violation is going to go against Schobel. And it looked like he had caught the Hawaii front line a little off guard, but the net violation gives the point to the Bows anyway. The service errors that bit Loyola Chicago in a big way the other night. For Hawaii, they had 6 aces to just 5 service errors. They served at a 93% clip inbounds. And Charlie Wade said after the match, he said, if we go above 90%, I believe we will win 100% of the time. And really, as that one is pounded down by Jimmy Meinhardt, if you look at the game of men's volleyball at every level, above 90% on a consistent basis is like unheard of.
It really is, and he's been saying it for years. Charlie Wade, a very big stats guy. And again, a lot of different coaches have different theories. We know at UCLA, they green light it every single time. It worked for them towards the end of the season. They had an incredible season, win the national championship. But again, they served inbounds at 92% that game. And the hardest thing about doing that is serving inbounds 90+, but also effectively.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to take too much off your serve that becomes too easy for the other team to be in system. That's where those repetitions are really going to come into play.
Yeah, no, these guys are still spinning it from the service line and getting it in. That's a killer combo. Here's Todd on the D set. Dug up there by the libero, Matt Oakley. Outside, here's Reed. He gets blocked back. His first non-kill on a swing. And that one is dug up by Todd. So high ball outside, Hakas, roll shot over triple block, and a diving pancake save by Oakley. Reed again, there's Choi on Hawaii's side. Over on 2 goes Tread Rosenthal. And he gets the point.
The really exciting thing about Tread as well, he is so big, and again, maybe not a lefty like Jakob Tell, but he is a threat at that net. He's reaching at a very high contact point, and he's able to get those kills as well.
Yeah, he's listed at 6'8". Charlie says he's probably closer to 6'9", maybe even above that.
He is, and again, for 17 years old, he doesn't look like your average 17-year-old. No. He is definitely a lot more built.
Good serve there. The set goes to Reed, and there's Rosenthal on the dig. It drifts over the net and out of play for a Loyola point. The other thing, when you look at Tread Rosenthal, the size of his hands. I mean, he has frying pan-sized hands.
He really does, and that definitely allows him to have that incredible setting touch. And as you can see, as he's setting, it almost looks effortless. The ball just flies out of his hands like that, set to
right on cue. You can see Rosenthal, and it is basically a lateral to G. Voss in the middle. And now the middle hitter connection, it had its ups and downs the other night, but that one was on the money.
It was a perfect set. But again, as he gets to play and practice more with these middles, the connection will come. It's the hardest set to have in men's volleyball, is finding that connection with your middles, because it's the fastest one. It needs to be perfect.
Fabakovic gets his third kill. Right now, Loyola led by Jake Reed, who has 4 kills, no errors, hitting .571. Hawaii led by Spiros Hakas, and his 3 kills, he's hitting .500. So some good offense here so far from either side. 3-point advantage for the Rainbow Warriors. Rosenthal goes outside, Galloway up the ladder and down the chute. Well, the boosters, they have been there from day one for this guy.
They really have. And again, Chaz Galloway, he was a freshman my senior year. It's been so exciting to see his growth, and he's a very special player. Not a lot of players can say that they've played in 4 NCAA championships as a starter, starting your freshman year. And again, I seriously think he hasn't even been close to his ceiling yet. He has a lot more to prove.
Right side, this is Van Buren. And that one right down the alleyway, just sort of caught in between Rosenthal and Hakas. And Van Buren gets his second kill. So here's Parker Van Buren, the 6'9" redshirt junior from Cross Plains, Wisconsin, in his 4th year with the program. In the offseason, actually trained on the left side because they wanted to work his defensive skills a little bit.
It definitely always helps to work all kinds of positions, and what adds, especially in the oppo position, is being able to have 4-man serve receive against tough jump servers.
Oh, that's called in off the block. Charlie Wade standing right there, arguing the point, and I think we're going to see a challenge. It would be a kill for Alakaitad if this gets reversed. It would be a roof for Nicodemus Meyer if it does not, and we have our first challenge of the evening. The officiating crew, Wayne Lee, the R1. He's atop the ladder on the near side. Dixon Chun will be performing the review here as the R2. Kevin Chun and Hunter Heleniak are the 2 line judges. And what do you think here, James? Looked like that may have been a hair long.
That looks out to me, and from our angle sitting over here, I believe it was out. But again, it's so hard to call sometimes because that ball is traveling at such fast speeds that unless you are perfectly looking at that line, it's hard to really catch it, but that ball looks out to me.
Now, what's interesting is we have our Spectrum Sports camera angles, which previously, for previous years in the replay, would be shared with the officials. We are no longer sharing those replay angles. They are running their own DV Sport camera system in here. So we'll see how that impacts some of these replay reviews and calls, because that angle right there seemed to be fairly conclusive. You could see a little strip of green between the ball and the end line. Not sure if they'll have the same benefit as far as the angle is concerned on the DV Sport monitor.
I agree with you, and it's exciting with all this new technology. We're kind of seeing the game change a little bit at the national level. They only have 1 referee, and again, I think everyone in the gym knew that that ball was going to be out of bounds. And an incredible swing by Alakaitad. It's exciting. I think he's playing with a little bit more confidence tonight. But again, good, smart, high swing off that block.
Yeah, good to see Alakaitad. NCAA tournament appearance for Charlie Wade's team in the last 9 years. And as mentioned, 4th straight trip to the final. They won 2 of them over the course of that span. As out of the timeout, Loyola gets the point back, courtesy Daniel Fabakovic, 6'6" freshman from Czech Republic.
Fabakovic is doing an incredible job here early in this game, and we're seeing the Ramblers go to him a little bit more and relying on him, not just Van Buren tonight.
And the service error, number 2 in that category for Loyola, gives the point to Hawaii. 16 serving 12, and now Chaz Galloway retreating back to serve. 6'3" senior from San Diego, California. Good to see him getting All-American recognition a year ago. Honorable mention, as well as another first-team All-Big West selection.
He's just climbing up the ladder with that one. Started with honorable mention, got 2nd team last year, and I think this year will be the season we might see that first-time All-American.
New setter out there for Loyola, Ryan McElligott, the 6'5" sophomore who started the other night there on the set but wasn't able to connect. He was looking at Miller Truby on the opposite side. So some unforced errors here for Loyola Chicago, and Hawaii up by 5. However, the service error for Galloway.
Loyola looking like they're trying to run a little bit more of a 6-2. That way they have the presence of an oppo and that out hitter position in the front row at all times. I think we're going to see a couple more subs from the Ramblers tonight.
Rosenthal has to chase down that pass, and the set goes over the net. And that's going to be a point for Hawaii. They're going to say that Hawkes was able to push it off of the hands of Truby. And so a nifty, savvy veteran play there by Spiros Hawkes as Keone Thim, perhaps the most popular service sub in program history, now comes in to serve.
Put your helmets on, because I think we're going to see a very fast one. And again, just the hard work that he's put in to get to this point has been incredible.
And he serves it long. That was something that he's been working on and did such a great job of the other night. Where he didn't miss a serve and was still able to ramp up the velocity. Had a service ace the other night, got the crowd roaring. Really sparked that Hawaii comeback in set number 3. Here's Truby with the southpaw serve. Good pass there. Choi and Galloway. As if he rappelled down from the rafters, just hanging and banging, and Hawaii up 5 again.
Just incredible the way that Hawaii's able to run that big. Chaz Galloway from the back row, he hit that near the 4-foot line, leaping at least 6 feet to that ball. It looks like he hit it in the front row.
That's unbelievable. Here's Rosenthal now to serve. A great serve, an ace.
It's very impressive to think that Rosenthal, until 3 months ago, was not a jump server. And that's something that you'll see in men's volleyball NCAA. And I know it's something Charlie pushes for. They only have one float server on the court, and that's Guilherme Voss. But everyone else, if you have a very effective jump serve, 65+ miles an hour, you're going to put another team in a lot of trouble.
He's the starting setter for the U.S. Junior National Team, was granted the best setter recognition at the U19 Pan Am Cup in both 2022 and 2023. Was also the MVP of that tournament in 23 as Choi was able to get the platform on it, but that was more out of self-defense than anything else, because that was an absolute crush by Reed.
What I love about Reed's style is he is fearless. Again, it's not easy coming in as a freshman playing against the runner-up NCAA champion from last year and come and electrify the arena with your play.
Well, speaking of crushes, Spiros Hawkes straight down to the floor. 21 serving 15. Hawaii has been in control here for the most part in this first set. And how about the Rainbow Warriors have yet to commit a hitting error?
Not only no hitting errors, but also hitting 684. Those are numbers that we saw them start off the season with last year with the 3 starters that left. So I think Hawaii has a very special team in front of them.
Service error, however, is their 3rd. Again, they only had 5 of them total the other night. So I think, you know, Charlie's watching that stat line closely.
He is, but I think we're seeing Hawaii go a little bit more after it tonight. The service speed's definitely a little bit faster than we saw last night. Guys kind of going after it. Maybe they're testing their limits tonight, allowing them to see where they're going to be for the rest of the season.
Well, and circumstances dictate, right? If you're up 6, then maybe you can ramp it up a little more, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Here's Galloway. Dug up 2-hand style by Reed. He gets the set from the back row. Dug up by Rosenthal. Voss on 2.
What an athletic play by Guilherme on that one. Crazy hard to hit a ball that comes right over your right shoulder, especially right off a dig. You got to react so quick to this ball, and he does an incredible job of just turning, seeing where the ball is, 180-degree turn, and putting that ball away.
Guilherme Voss with his 2nd kill. Kai Taylor into 67. And Kai Taylor in and back to serve, the 6'2" redshirt frost from Costa Mesa. Was stumbling as he tried to occupy his position on the floor. The hit came to the other side of the court, but Parker Van Buren getting the kill regardless. His 3rd here of this first set. 17 serving 22. Van Buren ranked second-team AVCA All-American last year. And he gets the ace.
Van Buren looking a lot more comfortable here tonight, and we're seeing him do a much better job of swinging higher than he was last night. Hawaii did a good job of slowing him down, having him hit under 100, and tonight we're seeing a lot more effectiveness from his swinging and his serving.
And this is a guy who averaged over 4 kills per set last year, was 5th in the country, and then after the ace, sends it out. And so Hawaii closing in here, 23 serving 18, and Alakai Todd getting ready to serve. John Hawks brought his team out here on the 30th, so they spent the New Year's holiday here in the islands. And they've done it up. They've gone to a luau on the North Shore. John took his family on a evening catamaran cruise. The solo stop, Trevor Rosenthal says, "Don't tread on me." And Hawaii has a aloha ball here in the first.
Incredible move by Trent Rosenthal out there, and again, standing at close to 6'9", he is up and amazingly over that net, not allowing the hitter to have a lot of options.
And the finger wave, Dikembe Mutombo style, aloha ball for Hawaii. And the block is up. They returned it to sender. Curtin Neusterer getting the most of that one. And a block party to close set number 1 for the Rainbow Warriors. They do not commit a hitting. His praises as far as how he just fit in seamlessly on this coaching staff as Rosenthal sends it long here to start set number 2. Again, Hawaii playing as efficiently as you possibly can, really, in that first set offensively. 14 kills, no errors, hit 667. They did commit 6 service errors, which by the standard they set 2 nights ago is a fairly high number.
It is, but again, like you mentioned in that first set, it's very optional. What an incredible swing by Spiros Hakas. His ability to just sky, it amazes me, and he's doing such a good job of keeping that ball high and not really bringing it into the block, but over the block.
His ability to contort his body to change the angle and widen his fan, so to speak, is really unmatched, I think, in large part in college volleyball. He has 6 kills, no errors on his side individually. Here's Van Buren through the block. Sliding save there by Rosenthal. So it's Hakas to Galloway. And the 2 high flyers connecting on the assist and kill and give the save to Tread.
Yeah, and it's always exciting to have 2 outsides that have shared a lot of time on the court together. And again, it's the outside to outside connection here, and Chaz Galloway doing an incredible job finding the outside hand of the setter's block.
Oh boy, that was a laser beam on the serve. Reed going high hands and getting the touch. Reed, I think moments ago you had Spiros Hakas who took on that set as opposed to having the libero say Eleu Choi. Was it just one of those situations where closest to the ball wins?
The dig was into that 10-foot line, and again, there's a lot more comfortability setting with your hands than there is trying to bump set it. There's a lot more accuracy when people step in, have that ball perfectly over their hands. You're allowed to guide it a little bit more. There's a lot more inefficiency when we're bump setting, especially on a high dig like that last one.
And there are some limitations to the libero using his hands, like you said, if in front of the 10-foot line. So as Guilherme Voss gets another kill in his stat line, 3 kills now in this match, and the jump floater. Right side, here's Van Buren. Roll shot. And a little bit of a campfire moment there for Hawaii defensively.
Van Buren doing an incredible job there. Came in a little bit early, noticed the set wasn't perfect, took a little bit off of that. And I think that's something that the Ramblers are kind of hurting from this weekend. They don't have their starting setters in. But again,
here's the middle set to Curtin Neusterer, and he gets stuffed solo style by Dean Meyer. And Loyola jumps in front. That's their first block of this match. You were referring to Dan Mangun, who is the incumbent starting setter for Loyola. He is coming back from an injury, but just not quite ready for action here this week. As Alakai Todd caught it flush. And he's got 4 kills, no errors, and playing with some confidence.
Alakai Todd doing an incredible job here tonight. And again, I think we're seeing a little bit more heat behind his arm swing tonight. He's playing a lot more confidently and not scared to hit on not perfect sets.
It's lasted long. Alakai saying after the match the other night, I asked him about the game face he appeared to be wearing, right? And, you know, we know Alakai. He has a great sense of humor, very playful, but seemed to have a little bit more of a serious disposition the other night. And he says, yeah, that's something Charlie has talked to me about. And so I'm very aware to try to change a little bit of that approach now that he has a greater responsibility at that opposite position. An ace dealt out the deck there by Parker Van Buren.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Alakai Todd has been playing behind some of the top oppos in the country.
Yeah.
He came in, and when Rado Parapunov was starting, then you have Dimitris Muklias, who, again, maybe a little bit undersized for an oppo, but was, again, one of the best oppos in the country. He's had to learn from a lot of people, and sometimes it could be a little hard to be behind players like that. You know, you find other avenues, maybe not take it as serious, but again, with the opportunity he had this year, I think he really stepped into that role and has been working incredibly hard and is doing a fantastic job in the oppo position. As the season goes on, too, we're going to see incredible things from him.
Galloway on the serve. Schobel going backside. Van Buren blocked. Diving cover there. Nicely done by Fabakovic, who gets the set. Quick reset for him. Great save along the corner by Galloway. The tip over the net by Todd, and now Loyola on the attack. Van Buren winds up, uncoils, and unloads his 5th kill.
The really exciting thing about this matchup is, again, two very tall teams playing against each other. We're seeing the ball hit at the top of the antenna and not coming down into the block a lot. They're finding those hands, doing an incredible job trying to either tool or recycle off the block and cover to try and get another swing at it.
So Loyola hitting 429 here in this second set. Hawaii 4 kills, has the first error of the match. That one committed by Kurt Musterer after getting blocked. And trying to go over on 2 was Rosenthal, but he got blanketed. Jake Reed timed it perfectly.
Reed, again, for a freshman, is such a smart player, and a lot of that is attributed to growing up in the beach in Newport Beach, playing a lot of beach growing up, and again, played at Balboa Bay, one of the most prestige boys volleyball clubs in the country. He's coming in with a lot of confidence, and for a freshman year, we're going to see big things from him in the next 4.
Hawkes just destroying that set. That one echoed through the arena. And a much-needed point for Hawaii. That ends what was a 4-1 Loyola run. They had built their largest lead at 3.
Hakas does a phenomenal job of finding that 4-to-4 swing, and it's even more exciting when we see him do it against a triple block, but does an incredible job lining up in that angle there, seeing the open court and swinging for it.
6 serving 8. Musterer just long. So Hawaii already with 6 service errors, already more than the entire match that they totaled the other night.
And again, I think a little bit of that is they're maybe a little bit more excited. There's an incredible crowd in here tonight at the Simplify Stan Sheriff Arena. They need to calm those nerves down a little bit and find that service line, or find their rhythm from the service line a little bit better.
Yeah, I mean, you figure a bigger crowd tonight, but it was pretty darn good. 4,500 there and about on a Wednesday for the opening night a couple of evenings ago.
And the exciting statistic to look at is for the women's side, they ranked 3rd in the country for attendance behind Nebraska and Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Something incredibly hard to do, where Nebraska sold out a football stadium at 92,500. Hawaii has one of the best fan bases they can ask for in the country.
Yeah, every single year. And you saw the disarray on the Hawaii side. Now the largest lead for Loyola at 4. Voss gets one back. After whiffing on the misconnection moments earlier, that one he was able to get in the sweet spot, and Hawaii back within 3.
And what I really like about Tread in those last 2 plays, he's not scared to repeat to someone that may have made an error where he may have lost not the perfect connection. He's not scared to repeat to these hitters. But again, another service error from Hawaii really affecting them here in this set. They're having a hard time finding a groove defensively, not allowing them to earn any true points.
So here's Cole Schobel, the 6'1" freshman out of Mater Dei High School. John Hawks calls him just a winner. A lot of success. One of the more reputable programs in the country. Makes the diving save there. So the bump set by the libero Oakley to Van Buren, and what an up by Choi. And they're going to call a miss hit there on the set by Galloway.
Incredible up by Lo Choi, and kind of like I mentioned in the beginning, the awesome thing with this libero, a little bit undersized. He is small, but he makes up with all the effort, and he's able to get to balls that a lot of liberos might not be able to get to.
Had to lay out on that first touch. Here's Hawkes going high hands, punched up to the net by Van Buren, and it'll fall to the Terraflex. Yeah, Leo Choi had the career high 15 digs to go along with a handful of assists on Wednesday, and some of those plays were electrifying, and the crowd was drinking in with enthusiasm just about every one of them.
They really were, and he's just such a hard worker. It's so exciting to see him get this opportunity to start. And again, he's put in the work to be in this position. He's a player that a lot of people don't know has ran 2 miles before and after practice at 6 in the morning, and then would practice and then go work out again. Just very hard worker and very exciting to always see a local boy out there playing.
You see Hawaii just a little off as far as the calibration from the service line, though. That's now 8 service errors in the match. They trail by 5 here in set 2. Backside, it is Todd. Did he get the touch? Yes, he did. So Alakai Todd still without an error. He has 5 kills.
We're seeing incredible efficiency from Alakai Todd, and that's something you expect from an opposite. They're usually going to be put in the hardest positions. They usually get nicknamed the garbage man because you have to take care of anything that comes to you. And he's doing a phenomenal job tonight. A lot more confidence from him, I believe.
Here's Keone Phim in and back to serve into the net. So he missed one in the first set, misses one there. And Hawaii having to traverse a little bit of inconsistency and adversity from the service line tonight. A bit of a different mix of ingredients compared to how the match played out on Wednesday. Here's Rosenthal, goes high ball, Galloway going up and getting it. Rosenthal just sent it into the stratosphere, and there are very few that can go up there and do what Chaz Galloway just did.
Galloway standing at 6'2", going against a 6'8" Van Buren blocker, still able to reach up and over 3 defenders. The block, the right back defender, and the middle back defender.
Here's Van Buren. Oh, that back set a little off the mark. So Hawaii with the advantage. Galloway, that set was off the mark as well, and then he just powered it past the resistance. So Chaz Galloway with a couple of improv moves, and he was able to get a couple of kills for Hawaii.
Very smart play there by Galloway, and I think we're seeing a little bit of that connection loss in this second set that they didn't have in that first set for both teams. The sets are a little bit off. The players coming in, rushing on a couple of these approaches. They need to both find that chemistry.
Van Buren by the double block. Performing the anthem and Hawaii Pono'i. That was just wonderful and set a great tone, but here is Hawaii trying to fight their way back in set 2, and Parker Van Buren with an ace. That is his 3rd ace here of this match. And so an interesting challenge now presenting itself for Hawaii. They are hitting .611 offensively as a team, but they're now having to endure a night where they are not in their best frame when it comes to the service line, and having to deal with a Loyola team that's serving the ball much tougher.
And we talked about it in the beginning. If Loyola was going to serve tougher, it was going to be a harder game for Hawaii, and that's exactly what they're doing. They're putting a lot of pressure, and they're serving at a high caliber. They have 3 aces right now with only 4 errors, as compared to Hawaii's 9 errors on 2 aces.
Noosterer able to plug it inside that Rambler block. And so Hawaii just trying to hang around here, see if they can make a run similar to what we saw in set 3 2 nights ago.
Chaz Galloway's going to have to be very smart with this serve. We've seen Hawaii going on a 3-serve error, and that's where you want to be a little bit more aware of what's going on in the game when you're back there on the service line. The person in front of you misses, be a little bit more aware with how much pressure you try to put on the serve as opposed to getting it in.
Pass there by Reed. Try to go quick outside to Fabakovic, and he tools the block. That's his 5th kill. So Loyola still without a hitting error in this second set. They only have 5 kills in set 2.
Hawaii's giving them a lot of their points here in this set, though. We see Hawaii in the first set, they had 0 errors. Hitting-wise, they have 2 hitting errors now, but also 7 serving errors in this second set. It's going to hurt them. It is hurting them a little bit now. They kind of need a little bit more of a rhythm, and they're not allowing themselves to get into that rhythm where we've seen the Ramblers. They're playing with a lot more energy tonight, a lot more confidence, and they're seeing them build that rhythm.
So here's Neusterer. 6'9", redshirt sophomore from Indianapolis. And the block is up on Meyer. Access denied there.
Smart serve by Kurt Neusterer. We see him take a little bit more off, found the middle of the court, allowing Hawaii. Again, they have an incredible blocking and defensive team. They need to allow their defense to work.
It was G. Voss and Spiros Hakas joining forces. Hawaii within 3. The USC women's volleyball program, and Parker McLaughlin, a professional golfer known now as the short game chef. If you want to improve your short game, it behooves you. I would recommend that you subscribe to the Short Game Chef, and some of those lessons available as Spiros Hakas crushes one for a Hawaii point, and they're within 2. With the McLaughlins in the house, gives us a chance to give another shout out to C-Mac. Chris McLaughlin, again, feeling a little under the weather here this week, so looking forward to getting him back on the headset as soon as possible. We love you, C-Mac. Neusterer doing a good job here on the service line. Goes deep corner on that one. The set jostled in the hands a little bit of Schobel, dug up by Neusterer. Here's Hakas, rising high. Hawaii has scored 4 straight. And we're going to have a challenge, it appears.
Ball down, no net violation. Loyola is challenging net fault by Hawaii.
So the challenge is going to be a net violation against Hawaii. I'm assuming it's on the Spiros Hakas follow-through, perhaps. And again, Dixon Chun will take a look at this. Just a little clarification from what we mentioned earlier in the last challenge. So again, they are applying the DV Sport replay system, and that is independent of the Spectrum Sports cameras, but they do still have access to what the Spectrum Sports cameras shoot as well. So it's more on the decision making of Dixon Chun whether or not he wants to utilize the DV Sport camera angles or what Spectrum Sports is able to provide. The difference is, the biggest difference is, there is no longer communication between the officials and the production crew for Spectrum Sports. So it is a little bit more, they're on an island, so to speak, but they do still have the option to scroll through what the DV Sport cameras pick up as well as what the Spectrum cameras do.
That definitely helps them out a lot more. Just gives them as many angles as possible, because again, when you go for a challenge, unless it is certain that you can overrule it, it makes it, you're not allowed to change the call unless you are 100% certain that the call has to be changed.
So do you see anything here as far as a net violation?
I don't, but I could see why they would call the challenge, because from our angle as well, Tread kind of overset that ball onto the Ramblers side, and Spiros really had to reach over the net. But he does an incredible job there stopping his hand from that angle. Let's see from this angle if we see anything.
Look at that. So that's our net cam, and wouldn't you know it, when we needed it perhaps the most, at least to this point in the match, it goes black. That was not something wrong with your television set at home. That was our net cam going black at the most inopportune time.
Some people might argue home court advantage. Technology, though, it's pretty incredible what they're able to do. And again, this just totally changes the game. 4 years ago when I was playing, we didn't have challenges, and to be able to bring that to the NCAA game really allows you to call it very fairly because, again, the ball travels at such high speeds. These players are moving so incredibly quick, it might be hard for your eye to catch it the first time around.
Well, you see the net and the shaking, the sort of tremor of the net after the fact, but you also had the proposed block that came into it at the end of the play. It looks like Schobel. And so, if anything, that could have caused the shaking of the net there. And it seems, at least from the angles that we have had access to here on our broadcast, it doesn't seem as though there's anything that's overly conclusive. And again, there are angles that Dixon Chun has access to via the DV Sport replay system that we do not, and he has reversed the call.
Very interesting call from the angles that we saw in my eyes. I did not see a net from Spiros Hakas, but again, you can't always judge. It's up to the ref's call.
Well, Spiros is not happy about it, and he let Dixon Chun know about it. And I mean, you know, as a player, you know if you committed a net violation, right?
You really do. And again, especially in a moment right here where the score now goes to 18-15 as opposed to what it would have been 17-16, it's a big point for the Warriors.
Oh, great play by Voss to keep it alive. Outside, it's Reed off the block. Right there is Choi. So Hawaii with the advantage. Here's Hakas, and it hit the pin. Oh, he was looking to absolutely explode on that ball. Conclusive enough to overturn it. But again, Dixon Chun with access to angles that we don't have on our broadcast via the DV Sport camera system. But out of the timeout, the serve goes long, and Hawaii's still in this thing.
Hawaii still has a lot of game left. They're going to be able to come back. But again, the service line is going to be the determining factor for them. They're having a rough night from the service line. They have 10 errors only in set 2, where last night they had 5 errors to 6 aces. And again, adding another one, they're making it 11. It's going to be hard to come back in this match if that's going to be the narrative of the story.
And so it will be Schobel with Loyola sitting on the 20-point mark. That ball hit the scoreboard above, so a bump set. Hakas bounces it in the middle of the floor. Just laying the lumber. Unloading some of that frustration that we saw moments ago.
Yeah, I think Spiros a little bit frustrated from that call still, but again, that kind of motivates a lot of those players to bring that fire to the game.
Schobel going backside. Here's Reed. Block slowed it down. The dig by Rosenthal. So Hakas again on the set. Todd with 3 blockers up. Zuck up on one knee by Fabikovic. He gets the set in the back row. Goes off the block and out. And they are trading blows here late in set 2.
The Ramblers playing very clean volleyball here in the second set. They seem like, again, maybe a little bit nervous in that first set, but they're finding that rhythm. Schobel's doing an incredible job spreading out the offense. He's found the back row. He's getting the middles involved, putting the Hawaii blockers in a little bit more of an edge.
And the crowd trying to do its part here. Two-hand pass, Choi. Outside. Galloway had to try to left-hand touch it over. Now Todd on the full swing. And that was some high cheddar in the direction of Jake Reed. Olakau'i Todd with 6 kills. He's hitting around 600.
Olakau'i Todd doing an incredible job. And what I like about his game tonight is he's playing it safe, but also with a lot of confidence. We're not seeing errors from his swings. He knows when to green light it, and he knows when to take some off.
So 18 serving 21. Can Hawaii make a push here? Up 1 set to none. They took the first 25-18, and that'll help. Third service ace for the Rainbow Warriors in this match. And it cuts the deficit down to 2.
Yeah, and again, that's the benefit of having that float serve in the mix. It's a little bit more consistent. It's not flashy, but it is effective a lot of times because passers are not usually used to seeing it in the NCAA. Very rare you see a float server.
Backside Van Buren. Oh, the block got a heavy touch that time. Here's Galloway. Able to plug it through, but still alive on the Loyola side. Here's Van Buren, dug up by Rosenthal, but it finds its way into the seats. And Loyola gets the point. Van Buren with 7 kills.
Van Buren's having himself a much better night tonight. Found his rhythm that I think all Rambler fans are a little bit more used to seeing, and I think the whole country's used to seeing. And again, the Ramblers are just on a roll right now. They've found a good rhythm, and they're sticking to it.
We have a serving sub here. It's going to be Cooper Evans, who had an ace on Wednesday, 6'5" sophomore from Glenview, Illinois. Had 11 aces last year in his first year with the Ramblers as a serving specialist. Here it is. Into the net. You can maybe give the assist to the crowd on that one.
I think so. And again, electrifying crowd here in the Simplify Stan Sheriff Arena. And that's what makes it very hard to play in here. The crowd always helps out this Hawaii team when maybe they're a little bit down. We're seeing a little bit less emotion from everyone on the team. It's a very good booster to have.
20, serving 22. Into the net. Service error number 11 for the Warriors.
Again, late in the set, it's really hard to miss so many serves. And they're doing an incredible job playing defense. They need to give themselves that opportunity to trust and rely on that defense.
I mean, they're hitting 400 in this second set. They're hitting 522 for the match. You really have to circle the service errors as being the primary obstacle here that has stood in the way of Hawaii possibly winning this second frame. But Van Buren serves it into the twine.
Hawaii's going to have to be very smart with these next couple of plays. Chaz Galloway, a good server. He served 92% last night. They're just going to have to give themselves opportunities. But again, men's volleyball, you're going to see that aggressiveness, maybe a little bit recklessness every now and then. When the crowd gets excited, you feed into it.
So a battle of serving attrition. Who's going to start getting them in first? Van Buren from behind the line. That was electric. A power surge from Parker Van Buren, and it's aloha ball for Loyola. And Hawaii will try to put a damper on the mood for the moment here as they signal for a timeout. But Parker Van Buren, who John Hawk says could possibly be the next great opposite on the even got on a few surfboards, and some of them stood up and caught some waves, and so they got the full experience here over the course of their time. But right now trying to experience their first set victory against Hawaii this week. It is aloha ball, but Kai Taylor to serve, floats it across, and Schobel on two, smacks it home, and the Ramblers take the second 25-22. So we are all square here at Simplify Arena at Stan Sheriff Center. Get comfy, folks, because we got ourselves a match. The ups and downs of a Hawaii team playing near flawlessly offensively, but the service line, an issue. We got a match. See him at the end of the bench, and so that puts a little more pressure on Tread Rosenthal. You do have Austin Buchanan, 6'8" sophomore setter, waiting in the wings as well. But one of those situations where Charlie Wade could have had another option if things got a little bumpy, as they did at times for Tread Rosenthal. But instead, I think Charlie Wade perhaps a little bit more inclined to let him try to ride through some of that adversity, which in the long run might be a good thing anyway.
I think so, and I think that's where they're leaning towards. Again, freshman, you want to give him as much experience as you can, as opposed to a fifth-year senior who we don't know how much more time he does have here.
Meanwhile, the freshman setter for Loyola, he just unleashed one from the service line to get this third set started. Cole Schobel with his first service ace of the match. That one tickled the tape. D set now to Alakai Todd, and he is still grooving. 7 kills for Alakai on 11 attempts. No errors.
Alakai Todd again tonight playing with a lot more confidence, and I think higher volleyball IQ. He's not going for the biggest swing on non-perfect sets, but on a set that he feels comfortable, he's doing an incredible job putting that ball away.
Just finding the open floor that time was Dean Meyer. He was selected to the U21 junior national training team back in May. He's in his 3rd year with the program, one of just 3 Ramblers to play all 28 matches a season ago. Rosenthal going back row, Galloway soaring to the volleyball.
And again, it's so impressive to see Chaz Galloway hit the big. It almost looks like he's hitting it front row. He leaps about 6 feet broadly and hits it at such a high contact point.
I mean, he landed right at the net, like right at that middle line. It's a broad jump from Chaz Galloway. Good dig there by Hawkes, and over on two goes Voss. This is becoming a thing.
It is. That play looks a little bit familiar like we saw in that first set. And again, to speak about the athleticism and the hand-eye coordination you need to be able to do that, comes right off the dig over his right shoulder. He's looking at the crowd behind him and has to swing at 180 degrees over him. Incredible athleticism from Guilherme Voss.
Voss, who entered this week hitting .513 for his career, then gets in on the stuff right there next to Alakaitad. And Hawaii on a 3-0 run here in the third.
Yes,
Guilherme Voss, the 6'7" senior from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, in his 5th year with the program. Here's Van Buren. He's able to avoid that double block. To the near side, finding the open floor. He has 9 kills. How crazy is that, though? I'm just looking at Guilherme Voss' 5th year, right? You have Spiros Hawkes in his 4th year with the program. You have players like Alakaitad as Voss on cue gets it down, Chaz Galloway, and like just about everything they've known, almost all they have known is playing in national championship volleyball.
It's pretty incredible. And again, that was the weird part with COVID. It really allowed a lot of these players to gain 1, if not 2 years, depending whether you redshirt. Again, we had players come through the program and players that are in the program for 6 years. It allowed them to see the process, right? Someone like Alakaitad, he was there when we got to the first semifinal. He was there when Hawaii got to that first national championship and all the work that it took to get there. And then he had 3 more years to play. It's pretty incredible to see all these freshmen that come in, all these new recruits that come in, and to be into such a successful program, it's hard to know otherwise than losing.
What a pass there by Hawkes. Nuster pounds it off the hands and down. Well, and then it's the old adage, right, where success begets success. And now the word of mouth, right, that traverses around the globe, especially when you've had great players in your program who are of international origins. And so, you know, the story of Louis Sakanoko, who joined the team, another option at the opposite hitter position, as that one touches down by Fabikovic. And basically, he was a guy who was playing with Colton Cowell. And Colton Cowell saying, oh, would you be interested in going to Hawaii? He connects Louis and Charlie Wade. The next thing you know, he's joining at semester and he's on the roster. And you have stories like that that are becoming more and more abundant here over the last few years.
You really do. And it talks about that chemistry and that connection that players that come through this program really have. They leave, but they're always thinking about Hawaii. They're always thinking about the future. They're thinking about that next year of when they leave, how they could help out. And again, I think a lot of that's also attributed to Milan Zarkovic, who's been in this program. He came from Europe, came from Serbia, and added that extra recruiting service per se, you know, where he has those connections and is able to bring players, top-notch players from Europe to the U.S. to play and get their education at the same time, where you can't do anywhere else in the world.
I mean, a guy like Jakob Tella, who is, you know, playing for one of the best clubs in Italy, and just the stories that he has shared about how there are all these young players, these up-and-comers, as Trent Rosenthal able to just slam dunk it two-hand style on the dump shot for the Hawaii point. He's telling stories of these kids coming up to him. They've watched him play throughout his collegiate career on YouTube or whatever it may be, and they know about Hawaii volleyball because, in many ways, of Jakob Tella.
Yeah, and it's just super exciting to see how much Hawaii volleyball is being talked about. They're one of the first programs ever to introduce so many Europeans to American volleyball and to collegiate volleyball. When I was on the team, we'd always have 4, if not 5 Europeans on the team. I got recruited to Hawaii from Cyprus through the connection of Milan Zarkovic. He coached at the club that I played for, left the year I started volleyball, but the connection was always there. It's just exciting to see, and adds a little bit more of a sense of culture to this team, learning about all these other countries.
Wow, Todd taking line, showing a wide fan here this evening, and gaining more fans in the process.
Olakai Todd really showing us what he's capable of, and we're seeing those glimpses of, I think, what's going to be an incredible season for him.
He's cooking with Chiave right now. 8 kills, 667, no errors. Van Buren, oh boy, look out. That one coming into the kitchen there on Kurt Neusterer.
I think Van Buren telling Olakai Todd in that play, I could do the same. That was heater from both sides.
Van Buren catching a body right there. Rosenthal has to track it down. High ball set to Hawkes, and he makes it work. So Spiros Hawkes already in the double figures in kills. Now has 11. He's hitting well over 500.
And Spiros does an incredible job here, waiting, knowing that the set might not be perfect as Tread's running off that net, finds the deep corner for the kill.
Two-time second-team All-American. Van Buren had to just flat-footed send it across. So here's Rosenthal to Galloway. Off the runway.
Tread doing an incredible job, I think, this set as well, spreading the offense a little more, finding the middle of the court, keeping the Ramblers blocked in a little bit more of a tight situation.
10 serving 8. And that's an ace. Rosenthal able to just catch that in line. 3 straight points for the Warriors. Just missing the sideline.
Tread kind of going for Charlie's unspoken of thumb down on that one. Might want to see a little bit more of a thumb up into the cross court.
So here's Jake Reed to serve. Into the net. Hawaii hanging on to this 3-point advantage here in a pivotal third set. Rainbow Warriors took the first 25-18, lost in set 2, 25-22. So trying to reclaim a little bit of possession of this match. Overpass, and it goes out. Give the ace to Spiros Hawkes. And Hawaii has its largest lead of set 3.
And again, I think the biggest difference that we're seeing so far in this third set is that Hawaii is putting their serves in bounds, but also putting a lot more pressure. They're hitting at a very similar caliber that they ended the last set in, but they're allowing themselves to find this rhythm from the service line.
That one goes long. You saw the service ace numbers for Spiros Hawkes last year, 38. That led the team.
Next server, Dean Meyer.
And now Dean Meyer to serve for Loyola. 10th in the first ABCA rankings, which came out on Wednesday, just prior to that night's match. Tip shot, Galloway. Pull the string. And Hawaii gets to 14. Hawaii ranked 3rd in the first ABCA rankings.
It's always interesting for me to see that first week where you get the rankings, and it's usually questionable, especially when a lot of teams graduate a lot of players. And again, it doesn't matter how you start the season, it is how you end it. But it's exciting night for volleyball across the country. A lot of people having their home openers tonight. And again, we get to see what every single team looks like. Maybe a little bit better judgment after week 3, week 4.
Yeah.
That's when we'll start seeing the rankings be a little bit more accurate.
Rankings tend to more or less reflect the previous season, right? And some of the voting obviously takes some of the players that graduate or aren't there anymore into account. But you have UCLA, the defending champs, they're number 1. Long Beach State, number 2. And Hawaii behind them. But you got 3 Big West teams in the top 4, by the way, including UC Irvine. Here's Galloway.
And again, speak about that Big West. 3 teams in the top 5. I was very fortunate enough.
Well, we'll take a break. Timeout on the floor. Hawaii.
The connection with the middles and the pins, but Chaz Galloway really kind of taking a little bit more authority here in this third set.
Galloway 9 kills, 1 error, hitting 571. Good set there to Van Buren. That was well done by Schobel. Hawaii hitting 769 here in set 3. Loyola also lava hot. They're hitting up near 600. In fact, exactly at 600 after that Parker Van Buren kill. I want to give you a chance to finish your thought on the Big West representation in the national rankings.
Yeah, it's been very exciting to kind of see the separation from the MPSF to the 2 conferences with the Big West. And again, Big West really showing to dominate volleyball in the country, which speaks of the caliber that Hawaii and all the Big West teams need to show up and play with every single night when they are playing against each other. And out of the preseason rankings where you're playing against non-conference opponents, it puts into a lot more consideration how you can move on if you don't win the Big West.
The Big West stacked yet again. And it always makes for a really fun ride through the conference schedule. Babakovic, was there a touch? No touch, sends it out. And Hawaii with a little bit of breathing room here. Largest lead of the third. They're up 6.
And again, I think the change of the story that's going on here is Hawaii's doing an incredible job from the service line. They've found a rhythm. They're putting it in bounds, but also putting a lot more pressure than we saw in the second set.
Alakutya Todd, 9 kills, hitting 692. And that one just kept on the Hawaii side. We've seen, again, we talk about facial expressions and those kinds of things, and that's just aesthetic stuff. But we've seen a certain demeanor about Alakutya Todd here these first 2 matches. Just showing that he's standing on business a little bit here at the start of 2024. Nooster gets it down. Wasn't the most vicious hit of all time, but you know what? The point is worth the same.
It really is, and I tell everyone, a dunk and a layup's the same, and so is a tip and a swing.
That's right. So here's Galloway. Had an ace the other night to go along with his 5 kills. Right on cue.
Again, we're seeing a high volleyball IQ from Chaz Galloway here in this third set. He's switching it up.
Gary was actually a really good quarterback back in the day at Kaiser High School.
Really just speaks to the connections and the ties to the historic Hawaii volleyball. And then you look at the national team as well. They have 3 starters from Hawaii. Hawaii just has such a big history of producing and having ties with great athletes and coaches.
We also saw, as we were showing you, the shot of Ali'i hyping up next week. Rainbow Warrior basketball welcoming UC Irvine to town on Thursday. That's going to be a big one. On the overpass, Dean Meyer able to find the floor. And so Loyola Chicago trailing by 5. Largest lead for Hawaii was moments ago at 7. And it is Lucas Anderson from Manhattan Beach on the serve. It's a good one. Great pass, though, Choi. And Nooster laying the smackdown.
Trent really finding that connection with those middles here in this third set as well. And again, I think Kurt was very happy with that set. Finds a big opening around that block and puts it down to the ground.
Gotta give Ileu Choi the nod there on a perfect pass off of what was a smoking serve by Lucas Anderson. Speaking of smoking serves, this guy's known to do that. Keone Thim. Can he get it in? He does. Backside. The southpaw swing of Miller Truby is dug up over the net. Truby a second time off the shoulder of Thim and out. Miller Truby, a 6'11" redshirt freshman from Dallas, Texas, played in just 1 set on Wednesday. Didn't play last season. He's in his second year with the program, but a former team captain and standout opposite hitter at St. Mark's School of Texas. You can see the future bright for this guy.
It really is, and again, to speak about the growth of the game, to see such big athletes come from Texas, where But men's volleyball still is not a sport in high schools. There's very limited clubs and opportunities out there. But again, to see the excitement from a lot of these young athletes to come out and play this amazing sport is super exciting.
Well, Parker Van Buren, he's been exciting to watch. Certainly if you're a Loyola Chicago fan. 13 kills. He's hitting up around 500.
Yeah, and again, keeping that ball very high here tonight. He's finding fingertips, not really getting blocked, not going for any errors. Doing an incredible job for the Ramblers.
Rosenthal goes D-set. And there he is again. Todd absolutely grooving tonight. That's double figures for Todd, 10 kills, no errors, hitting .714. And an ace by Trent Rosenthal. Free on 14 attempts, hitting a fat .714, James.
He's really playing like a true veteran. You would have never thought first year starting. He's finding his groove. He's finding his confidence in his game right now. And him and Tread have found a great connection.
And Tread Rosenthal has found his serve. Back-to-back aces. Sandwiching the timeout. And Hawaii leads 23-16. Four service aces for Rosenthal here in this match. Outside, Van Buren, diving save Choi, touched over by Hawkes, replay on. High ball, Reed times it through the triple block. Would not be denied. And he's having himself as just a freshman. Pretty strong performance as well, 7 kills, no errors.
Yeah, he's playing very smart, and again, doesn't always have the biggest kill or the most flashy kill, but he's doing an incredible job finding the high hands and tooling off of them and playing it a little bit smarter when he doesn't have a full swing.
Saw that fantastic diving dig by Choi in the midst of that as well. Here he is on the first touch. Backside, Hawkes. He went OTT.
Hawkes is doing an incredible job, and year by year it looks like he's getting a little bit higher and a little bit higher. And again, he doesn't look like the most athletic guy out there, but makes it work.
Yeah, the elevator's going a few floors higher, it seems, at the start of this season. Aloha ball in set 3. Oh, and he falls to the floor after serving it into the net. He just shrugs his shoulders like, I don't know what happened there.
He looked a little bit too excited coming into that approach on that serve.
It will remain Aloha ball for some time here. Not that long, though. Server's error gives Hawaii set 3. And just like set 1.
Very young freshman and compete on one of the biggest stages in the country.
And it will be Rosenthal to serve to start set 4. Hawaii was just dynamite in that third frame. They hit 778 with just one hitting error. 778, Hawaii entering this fourth set, hitting 600 for the match, James.
They have 5 players hitting over 500, and the only one that's hitting under that is Tread Rosenthal, the setter, who has hitting 200. It's incredible to see the quality of hitting and setter connection like we saw there to Kierme Voss that this freshman's bringing into the team.
That's only going to better the hitting percentage numbers. G. Voss now 7 kills. He's error-free. He's hitting 778.
Again, Kierme, just a silent threat. Never too flashy, not too loud on the court, brings his energy when he needs to, but he's always up and ready.
The model of consistency. Here's Pavlikovic from the back row. He's got 8 kills.
Pavlikovic has been a big threat for this Hawaii team. Again, he got a little bit silent there in that third set, but I think we're going to see this offense from the Ramblers be spread a little bit more.
High ball will go to Todd. Roll shot. Oh, he's doing it all
Really smart play there by Alakai Todd. He's been swinging all night, and a very nice switch up there. The defender's a little bit too much on their heels there. And again, high ball, very hard to hit. Gives it that little beachy touch to find the floor.
Yeah, went with the love and tenderness that time on the swing instead of the violence. Here's Van Buren from off the floor. Sends it out. Hawaii jumps in front. Alakai Todd, who entered the program as a middle blocker, was actually playing middle blocker his first 2 years before transitioning over to the opposite position, as you mentioned, playing behind the likes of Rado Parapunov and Dimitrios Muklias.
Just being versatile, I think, gives you a lot more opportunity when you get to college, and we've had that, you know, really big thing at Hawaii where, like, Dalton Solberg came in as an oppo setter, ended up being one of the best middle blockers in the country. Alakai Todd coming in as a middle, finding his way to the oppo and dominating, just being super versatile.
Those high hands there, saved by Reed. Outside, Pavakovic is blocked. Good cover by Oakley. Backside, Van Buren, his dink slammed home, but a net violation against Neuster. Oh, he wanted it, and he knew he got his hand caught in the cookie jar.
And they're just so high up on that block. A lot of times you think you have that time to pull it down and get a little too excited and find that net.
Neuster plays with such enthusiasm. He loves being out there serving three. Rosenthal goes outside. Galloway up the elevator. Good diving save over the net. Galloway a second time. Going to be a joust up there. Pinballed around, and Loyola will get the point. That's set a little off in terms of the location.
Yeah, that's set a little bit too tight. Chaz did a good job trying to recycle that ball. Could have gotten a little bit more swipe, I think, like he was showing there. Try to swipe it a little bit more.
For serving three. Here's Chaz. That one on the money. The kick save kept things alive momentarily by Schobel, but you said it earlier. It's interesting how Tread Rosenthal, when he has misfired, it is almost automatic that he's going to try to go back to the same spot. He wants to right the ship.
He really does. And again, it speaks to a big setter with confidence. Not a lot of setters are going to repeat players that make errors. They're going to find them and find that connection. And I think that's what Tread's trying to do here tonight. I didn't find you on the first one. Let's try again on the second one. I trust my hitters to be able to do that.
Here's Chaz. A dig there by Schobel. Diving bump set Oakley, and then Van Buren goes off the block and out. Oh, he thought it had a stuff, but it ends up a point for the Ramblers. Van Buren now up to 15 kills, leading everybody.
Yeah, we're seeing a much different Van Buren here tonight, and I think a lot of that has to do with the setter connection's been a lot better for the Ramblers as well. We see Schobel doing an incredible job finding his hitters, giving them a consistent set, and they're able to trust their approach a little bit more.
Oh, and it's an ace. Van Buren leaving his fingerprints figuratively and literally all over this match here tonight. 4 aces for Parker Van Buren and a 4-1 run for Loyola. That one, though, stays on the Loyola Chicago side. And so Chaz will get ready to serve. Interesting as well, you have two teams that both went on summer trips. Hawaii, they went to Japan. We had a great piece on that during the pregame the other night. Schobel tried to spike it over on 2, but hit it into the net. And then you had Loyola Chicago. They actually went to Italy for a 10-day trip back in August. Also played 3 matches. And I'd imagine, especially when you have some turnover like these two teams have had, that can go such a long way in just bringing the team together and getting a bit of a head start into the season.
It really does, and there's 2 very big benefits. Like you mentioned, that team chemistry, that team bonding, where you're spending at least a week plus, closer to 10 days abroad. You're spending 24/7 with your team. You're practicing, you're playing games. It adds that chemistry component. But the other benefit to that is you get to learn from all these other types of plays and the way that other countries play, like Italy, one of the top 5 teams in the world. They have a very technical way of playing. Japan, they do an incredible job running the ball fast, and that's where I think Joe Worsley, when we went in 2019, really switched up the game for Hawaii volleyball. There's so many benefits to making those big trips.
That was interesting. You had almost the battle of the opposite hitters there. Alaka'i Todd crushed one, but it was dug up by Van Buren, and then Van Buren put it down on his side. And it is a 2-point advantage here for the Ramblers. Nooster with the pass. Outside, Hakas goes hands and out. And Hakas now up to 13 kills. The trip to Italy produced more than just perhaps good fields and better volleyball, especially for head coach John Hawks. You might be able to see it if we get a good camera angle, but on his forearms, he actually got in Italy the names of his 2 daughters, Giovanna and Gabriella, tattooed. Here's outside Reed, and he gets the kill. He and wife Julianne, very proud of their 2 daughters. And there you can kind of see on the backside of the forearms there. There they are. Can I get a shot of that? Yeah. Giovanna on one side, Gabriella on the other. Hakas off the block and out. And he's just doing his thing, right? I mean, you have these incredible performances being put together in other areas. G. Voss without an error with 7 kills. Alaka'i Todd 11 kills, no errors. And then Spiros Hakas 13 kills. He's sitting 6'11". It's like, oh, that's just Spiros doing Spiros things.
I know, it's crazy to see how casual these hitting percentages are coming off of Hawaii, but also the Ramblers not doing too shabby. They're hitting 300 here in this set, 350 overall in the match, and they have 3 players hitting over 400. It's high-level volleyball in here tonight. And again, the big thing that we're seeing tonight that you don't really get to see in a lot of men's volleyball is there's rallies. And I think that's the very exciting thing about this matchup that we see here.
Well, that one hit out, no touch up front. So we are tied at 9 apiece. Rosenthal to bring it. Into the net it goes. That is service error number 19 for Hawaii, compared to 8 aces. Remember, they had 6 aces to just 5 service errors the other night.
Not really like a trait of Hawaii to be missing so many serves, and I know exactly what's going through Coach Charlie Wade's mind right now, and that is they need to find that service line.
15 kills now for Spiros Hakas.
An incredible job. Again, Spiros just kind of putting the backpack on, leading the way for his team. Again, 4th-year veteran, one of the bigger players with experience on this team. Hawaii's going to need him to perform like this a lot.
Loops the serve over, backside. Here's Reed. And he drops a hammer. And now we're starting to see some straight-up banging in this 4th set.
There's a lot of back and forth, and again, I don't think the Ramblers are ready to go home, and they have a lot to prove. It's a very exciting young team, and they're playing very good tonight.
Todd goes off the hands, chased down by Reed. So high ball, Fabakovic cross-court and in. And it's Loyola by 2. Trying to force a 5th set here.
Both teams on a very good rhythm right now. And again, Loyola not ready to go home.
Pass by Choi. Outside, it's Galloway. That one popped up in the air off the block. So Oakley sets up Van Buren. Pinballed around and down. Parker Van Buren cannot be stopped right now.
And again, an incredible play by Van Buren. Solo block, gets an incredible touch, recycles it, and goes up and over a big Hawaii triple block. Yeah, Jeremy Voss Santos out there and Alaka'i Todd.
Voss got it down, wrist away. And Now Keone Finn will come in to serve. And you can just feel the fans starting to rise up a little bit in their chairs. Sense the excitement level ticking up a bit because of that. A smoke show, but it will be played over. Fabakovic, the looping shot, saved by Finn. Middle set, Nooster! And Hawaii gets the point, and they're within one.
And again, an incredible play there by Keone Finn defensively to get the ball up on the net and tread finding the middle, something that I know that they were going to work on here tonight. And Kurt Nooster, again, so much excitement and emotion, puts the ball away.
Oh boy, that one sailed long, but that's sort of the deal that Charlie has, right? You get one in, and then I'll let you hi-ya one.
Yep, especially with Keone, because when he's on, he really is on. It'd be very exciting to see the speed and the radar guns back in here, because we're seeing a lot of 65-mile-an-hour plus serves in here tonight.
Meinhardt with the jump floater. Change up in some of that action. Now Galloway up on Springs, sends it out, no touch. And Loyola gets to 15 first in the fourth. They lead by.
Jeremy tonight is those two plays where he's swinging at about 180 degrees. He just shows his athleticism.
8 kills, no errors, hitting 800. However, Hawaii trailing by 3 here midway through the fourth. And Rosenthal trying a dynamic back set as he went down to his knees on the Terraflex, sent it over the net, and so Loyola able to put it down. They're up 4 here. They've scored 3 straight points.
I think Hawaii needs to play a little bit more simple. We're seeing Tread try to do a little bit too much from the setting. There's a lot of misconnections, oversets happening. He just needs to play the easy ball. And again, when you have all your hitters hitting over 500, just put it up for them to swing.
Yeah, it's hard to criticize the fact that you have a Hawaii offense that's hitting 542 overall for the match. But there have been some moments where location, just like what Charlie Wade said after the match the other night, has been a little bit off, including that moment right there as Hakas had to push it deep and then pushed it too deep. So a 7-2 Loyola run, and Charlie Wade now signals for a timeout. We'll take the break as well. Ramblers by 5. There he is on the bench. He'll be out for a spell as Alakati Todd goes through the block. Now Van Buren trying to time it. He gets blocked. They go the other side. Fabakovic finds that end line. And he flexes after that pummeling. And it is Loyola up 6 here in the fourth.
The Ramblers just doing an incredible job of keeping the ball alive. Even though they're hitting into the block, everyone's ready to cover, to recycle, give themselves another opportunity.
Galloway challenging that block atop the net. Now Van Buren looking the time. It goes deep corner and gets the kill. He can do no wrong right now. He is piping hot.
Van Buren is just on fire. And again, I think he realized after the first night that this team, young team's going to need him. And he's really elevated his game coming here into the second night against Hawaii.
And the service error, though, breaks up some of that momentum. It was a 9-2 Rambler run. And so Hawaii has an uphill climb here if they want to try to get back into this fourth set. It almost becomes just as important to just try to find some rhythm again for a possible 5th set, if nothing else.
It really does. And this is where I think Hawaii's playing a little bit too emotionally right now. They're diving into the crowd's emotions, maybe a couple of the plays that they didn't agree with. And we see a little bit of a no ref whistle. Alakai Todd going for the serve before the ref blew the whistle.
He served it before the whistle, and so he gets a mulligan.
Yeah, I think
effectively.
Kind of talks to they're really rushing everything right now. Hawaii needs to kind of calm down, settle down, and play the game that they can.
And he gets that one in. And then Nooster getting his hands on that block. Here's Galloway winding up, uncoiling. What a dig by Schobel. Van Buren dug up along the back line by Hakas. High ball Galloway up in the air, and access denied. Loyola says, And they get to the 20-point mark.
The Ramblers really playing like they have something to prove, and we see so much emotion from Van Buren. I think he knows what this team is capable of, and he's excited to see that they are kind of showing on a national stage what they're capable of doing.
And it is Van Buren to serve. Has 4 service aces tonight. Tried to find that deep corner, but missed it out. And so now Chaz Galloway to serve. Hawaii, which was riding high from an offensive hitting percentage standpoint through this entire match. Hit 778 in set 3. 174 here in the 4th.
The Ramblers have kind of done an incredible job of also finding their blocking and rhythm and really taking Hawaii's hitters' good swings away. They're doing a good job defensively, making it frustrating for the Hawaii hitters to put the ball down.
Fabakovic that time pulling the string. So 21 serving 14. What a turnaround here for the Ramblers. And is that a save there? Leu Choi and Alaka'i Todd both going for it. And Choi at least argued to no avail, though, that he thought he got his hand underneath the ball. Hard to tell there. Neuster, one-hand save, Fabakovic. Bump set goes to Truby. And Hawaii will play it back. Hakas deep cornering in. And how about that set by Rosenthal? He was facing the other way.
Rosenthal, again, very athletic, is capable, even at his 6'9" frame, to get into weird positions, to put the ball where it needs to be, facing usually the oppo where you wouldn't do that. Beautiful back set to Spiros Hakas for the kill.
So 15 serving 21. What a serve by Neuster. Holy moly.
Again, Kurt just bringing that emotion and that confidence that he has to this team late in this set. And again, if you are Hawaii, you want to build some kind of rhythm, maybe going into a potential 5th set.
I mean, that
playing in one of the top teams in the nation at the NCAA level.
out of the timeout, 16 serving 21. And that one just misses long. Neuster thought he had it, still looking a bit befuddled. But a point for Loyola Chicago. And Nicodemus Meyer, the 6'10" middle, who has a 7'2" wingspan, sends it across. Overpass, touched over though by Rosenthal. Now he has a joust that he almost wins. Free ball coming over. Advantage Hawaii. Rosenthal to Voss. Pounds it down.
A lot of really big plays there by Rosenthal. Two incredible blocking moves. The first one a little bit out of proportion, but and again finding the middles and Gehrman making it very easy running that 3 route for him to have an open court for the swing.
So give G. Voss 9 kills, hitting .818. Not too shabby. And Rosenthal to serve. Reed from behind the line, dug up there by Rosenthal. So here's Choi on the set. That one a little tight to the net, knuckled over, and then swung over by Schobel, but he misses the court wide.
Schobel incredibly fearless, and I think the Ramblers are purposely putting that ball a little bit higher, kind of like a set, so Schobel does have that second option, something that this Hawaii team did a lot last year with Jakob Teller.
18 serving 22. Into the net. How about 22 service errors for Hawaii?
Very unlikely of this Hawaii team to make so many service errors. And again, Charlie Wade, and we know what he's going through his mind. It is a serve-receive game. Can I talk about?
You got Hawaii on the road Wednesday and tonight, January 3rd and 5th. And then on Sunday, January 7th and Monday, January 8th, they play at Stanford. So they go from here to Stanford for 2 matches on back-to-back nights, Sunday and Monday. So, yeah, good luck with that. But a good test early as Voss is able to get it by the resistance on the Loyola side. But that's exactly what both these coaches were looking for, right? In trying to schedule this series at the top of the stack, is test your team out of the gate, especially with some new moving parts, so to speak.
And what that really allows these coaches to do is early on know where their weaknesses are, and that way moving forward through the season, they're able to work on those as much as they can.
Rosenthal going outside. Galloway, that one a little off the net. Dug up by Fabakovic. Now Reed had 6 hands up there for Hawaii, slowing it down. Back row, it's Hawkes! Lights it on fire!
What an incredible play by Spiros Hawkes. You almost always want to give that middle back defender the ball when they pass it. And again, he hit that ball and came under the net. They are soaring about 7 feet.
Absolute firecracker prior to that timeout. 17 kills, hitting .609. Hawaii not out of this 4th set yet. 20 serving 23. And it's a good serve. It's an ace!
If you are Hawaii, that's definitely who you want behind that service line right now. He is the veteran. He has an incredible serve, and I think he's going to play this one smart. He's not going to go too forceful with his serve. He's going to be able to put it inbounds and make Loyola Ramblers play for it.
Largest lead in this 4th set for the Ramblers was 7. They passed that time. Middle set, and that one got slowed down by the tape. Troy chases down the second touch. Galloway with the swing and gets the kill.
What a play by Aleo Troy there, diving into the crowd, let alone a perfect high ball set to Chaz Galloway, and Chaz Galloway finding that corner by inches.
Hawaii a chance to tie. Back row, Fabakovic gets it home. And it is a Aloha ball in set 4 for the Ramblers. The Loyola Loyalists standing here on Aloha ball. Pass by Choi. Rosenthal goes to Voss. And Voss gets the kill. 11 put-downs for Guilherme Voss, hitting way over 800. And Hawaii down 1. Set point remains here for the Ramblers.
Hawaii really finding that confidence that they have. And again, those veterans really stepping up here late in the set.
It's Voss to serve. You got to get it in. He does. Back set, Van Buren. Deep corner and in. What a set there by Schobel as well. And the Ramblers force a 5th and decisive set here in the Hanaho rematch. A battle of top 10 teams culminates after this. He has raised his level here over the last couple of frames, but it will be Hawaii serving first in the 5th. Keone Thim serves it into the netting.
And again, this 5th set to 15, you're going to have to be really good off the beginning, because it's going to be really hard to come back and try and find a rhythm.
And so now Cole Schobel. He can hit the high MPHs on the gun with his serve, but it is Neusterer who blows the most smoke on that swing.
What an incredible pass by Aleo Choi. There is so much heat behind that serve, but does an incredible job getting his hips behind the ball. And Kurt running a beautiful push away from the middle.
He's had a strong performance as well. 7 kills, hitting 600. Outside, Van Buren off the block. It was saved at the last moment by Reed. Wasn't sure if that was going out or not. Fabakovic dug up by Neusterer. So it's Todd with the bump set. Hawkins!
What a big swing by Spiros Hawkins. And again, broken play. Kurt with an amazing dig. Big high bumps it by Alakai Todd. Spiros does an incredible job getting his feet to a very tight set, hitting high and over the block.
Keone Thim staying in there, by the way, following the opening serve here. So it looks like Charlie trying to mix things up just a tad. See if Keone Thim can supply some of the energy and spark that he provided the other night in set 3. Here's Van Buren. Dug up by Thim. Rosenthal, high ball to Hawkes. High hands and out.
I really want to know how many stories this elevator is, because every time he gets set a high ball, he just keeps elevating and swinging so high over this really big block.
I mean, he is head and shoulders above the tape. 5,077. And they have been treated to some free volleyball here as we are in set 5. Tied at 2 sets apiece. Kurt Musterer serving. Hawaii up 3-1. And he serves it long. That has been a bugaboo for Hawaii all evening. That is their 24th service error, following a match the other night where they only served it out 5 times.
That really impacts the game, because they've pretty much given a set away in points. It makes it very hard to be in a game.
Thim had to extend just to send it over the net. Here's Van Buren, and it was one-on-one, and good luck against Parker Van Buren if you're left to your own devices trying to provide the block.
Parker Van Buren put on the back pad and said, everyone get in. He's doing such a good job for the Rambler. And again, playing incredibly smart. If he hits into the block, it's high off the hands. He's not getting blocked here tonight.
So 3 serving 3. And it is Jake Reed to serve. Good pass there. Rosenthal going outside. Hawkes is blocked. It was Van Buren jumping up next to Meinhardt. And it was a solid front.
That was a really big block here by Van Buren. And again, he's just doing it all tonight. But that set from Tread Rosenthal, a little too low. Again, Spiros Hawkes hitting at such a high point, you can't put it 3 inches over the net.
He puts it way up there this time. And Hawkes catches a body. And Cole Schobel taking one off the dome. And that is no joke with the kind of velocity that these athletes hit with. His teammates go over to make sure he's okay. And he's smiling. His head coach is smiling, but that's not something to laugh about until you know everybody's okay.
Yeah, it really isn't. And again, concussions. Volleyball's not a contact sport, but when you get hit by that ball going that fast, it becomes a contact sport and you can get rocked. So hopefully he's okay. Hopefully we don't see any major injuries or concussions going on right here.
He gets an ovation from the crowd, and they're going to give him some water. They're going to check on him for a hot second. Have you experienced something like that?
I have. Brandon Rattray, again, was at the University of Hawaii, transferred to UCLA, one of the heaviest arms in the country. It's not fun getting hit by a ball that's coming 70, 80 miles an hour. And again, we're talking 6 feet away from you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not fun, but I'm glad he's okay and able to stay into the game.
So Schobel back out there. We're tied at 4. It now becomes a race to 11. Rosenthal, that one bounces off the tape and out.
Again, Hawaii just missing the way too many service errors, especially in the 5th set where it only goes to 15. You got to play your best volleyball. You can't be giving up points.
Meinhardt with the jump floater. Backside, Hawkes. That was a big windup. And a little extra chili pepper water put on that swing.
I think we're going to see Tread Rosenthal try and find Hawkes as much as possible here in this set. Spiros, again, he's on Hawaii's side, putting the backpack on. Everyone's going to climb in. I think we're going to see his match setting to Spiros and Guilherme Voss whenever it's possible. That's what Hawaii's going to need right now.
Good pass that time by Fabikovich, and then the middle set pinballed around and returned after the swing by Meyer. Backside Van Buren, it was tight to the net, blocked by Thim, and it is punched out. Give Keone Thim the roof.
Again, I think this was the spark that Hawaii needed. Bringing Keone Thim, he came in that first night in the third set where they were down by 6 points. He was that energy spark. He was that big-time, fearless swinging spark that Hawaii needed.
Grandson of former Hawaii head coach Mike Wilton. Of course, his uncle Aaron also playing for this program. And yet he has become a fan favorite here over the last couple of years. Fabakovic got that one slowed down. Rosenthal going back row, was a little low for Hawkes, and he crosses the midline. And did he, in fact, fall into the foot of Meyer? Hawkes is slow to get up. Meyer as well appears to be shaken up, and he's reaching down at his left foot.
Yeah, that play a little tight. We kind of see Spiros touching his neck. Hopefully everything's okay. And again, these are just the scary moments in volleyball. We see Spiros come a little bit over the net, lands.
Oh, it was a knee to the neck that time. So he landed, it appeared on the left foot of Meyer. And then the right knee of Meyer in that exchange made contact with Hawkes' neck. And so both players apparently never worse for wear. Back up and we play on, tied at 6. Pass by Choi is a beauty. Back row, Hawkes! He chooses violence.
And again, the theme of the night, you don't find them the first time, set them again. And Trent Rosenthal doing an incredible job. Like we just mentioned plays ago, I think it's going to be the Spiros show from here on out.
He's got 22 kills. Over on 2 goes Schobel, but he hits it long.
It's a little risky play there by Schobel. That set a little bit, that pass a little too far off the net.
And Hawaii gets to 8. And they will swap sides to play out the rest of this 5th set. What a match it has been. It hasn't been the prettiest at every moment. We have seen a lot of disarray from the service line, particularly on the Hawaii side. But we have at times seen, as you would expect from a top 10 matchup, moments of absolute volleyball brilliance. And we are seeing the tension wind up as tight as can be here in an early season 5th set.
We really are, and when both teams are hitting above 300, you have the Ramblers hitting 309 and Hawaii hitting 495. It's pretty incredible, the atmosphere that we're seeing in here. And like you said, not maybe the prettiest, but both teams are scrambling to keep this ball alive.
And Voss sends it out. Loyola Chicago hitting -125 here right now in the 5th. Hawaii hitting 444. And yet, just a 1-point separation.
Goes back to that serve-receive game.
26 service errors for Hawaii. Miller Truby checks in for Loyola. There's the serve by Fabakovic. Pass by Hawkes is a good one. Middle set, Neusterer! And that is a new career high for Kurt Neusterer with his 8th kill of the match.
And again, Kurt doing an incredible job. He played with so much emotion, so much energy, and so much drive. I think this is what this Hawaii team really needed right now, is that little spark. And you see that chemistry between these 2 young players right there.
9 serving 7, Alaka'i Todd. Sends it across, it's a beauty! It's an ace! A 4-1 Rainbow Warrior run. Timeout, Loyola.
Held back. All for the love of soccer.
Trying to go to 2-0 here to start the 2024 season. And Alaka'i Todd, who just served an ace prior to the timeout, sends it across again. Middle set, and it is hit out by Meyer. No touch. Hawaii up 4.
Everything going into Hawaii's favor right now. They're doing a really good job from the service line, but the Ramblers giving them a couple of points where it's a little too crucial here in the 5th set. Again, only to 15.
Another good serve by Todd. D set. Van Buren! Tim and Nooster say, ole!
Talk about a best friend connection there. What an incredible block by these two. And again, Keone Tim pushing 6 feet, is getting up, shoulders over the net, and really pressing. And again, that energy spark Hawaii needed coming into the set.
Providing it again here tonight. And Todd locked in from the service line. Outside, Reed through that block and down. Still up by 4 here in the 5th. Good run at the service line by Alaka'i Todd. And again, some Keone Tim magic along the way.
A lot of Keone Tim magic. And again, Hawaii just seems like they're playing with a little bit more energy here early in this 5th set. But Alaka'i Todd providing high quality playing for this team, kind of what they needed.
Lucas Anderson. They say he can hit about 70 miles an hour on the serve. Took a little something off, forces the overpass, and Reed gobbles it up. And the lead is down to 3.
Incredible swing on the overpass. Reed had something to prove on that swing. It blows my mind that he's just a freshman coming in at one of the highest stages.
Pass by Choi. Rosenthal high and away. Thim with the swing. Popped straight up in the air by Fabakovic. The swing by Schobel gets through the block and down. 3 straight Loyola points. And Hawaii at Hofstra, and is now a 3-time Emmy Award-winning broadcaster. I wonder how she'd be calling this one. With Loyola now within 2 in the 5th. High ball set to Thim. 3 blockers up, and he pumps it long. No touch. 4 straight points for the Ramblers. And what was once a 5-point advantage has dwindled down to 1 here for Hawaii.
And again, the Ramblers with 3 true freshmen on the court right now just speaks to the future that this team has.
And Thim shanks it out of bounds. It's an ace. And we're tied. What a comeback, and the spark at the service line this time coming on the Loyola side from Lucas Anderson. And Chaz Galloway will re-enter the match on the Hawaii end.
Hawaii really needs to just settle down on this serve receive. Doing an incredible job, and I think we're seeing those 70-mile-an-hour heaters that his coach was talking about.
Diving pass by Galloway just to keep it in. Here is Todd through the block and down. Are you for real?
What an incredible swing by Todd there. Again, high ball set from Spiros Hakas, not the setter. Does a good job getting his feet to that ball and swinging high so far into the court, finds the hands of the blockers for the ball to go down.
12 kills for Alaka'i Todd with no errors. And Thim back into the match to serve. And just wide. Oh, Thim thought he had it. Tied at 13. It's now a race to 2.
This next point's going to really dictate a lot of what the rest of this set's going to look like.
Schobel, a really tough server as well. Good pass, Thim. Outside, Hakas dug up in the air. It'll be swung on the second touch by Reed, and he gets it down, and Loyola has Aloha ball for the match. Timeout, Rainbow Warriors. Crowd trying to play its role. Schobel serving for the match. Pass by Choi is a good one. Outside, Hakas blocked and roofed, and this one is over. Fittingly, Parker Van Buren was in on that stuff that gives Loyola Chicago the victory in a 5-set marathon that lasted just about 3 hours.
What an incredible performance here tonight by the Ramblers. And I think everyone in the gym knew where that last set was going.
20 kills for Parker Van Buren, hit 4 times.